66 marathon training. This is gonna be the first episode. Right now I'm headed to some trails. We're gonna bang out about 3 miles. It's about 92 degrees right now. So we're gonna try to find some shade. I'm gonna try to get a cool couple shots and really just try out the new camera, try out the new vlog setup. Hopefully the audio is working right now. But yeah, super excited, looking forward to it. Monday, we dive into the official training plan. I've never became consistent posting on YouTube. So I've always liked filming videos, and sometimes I have a hard time with short form because I want to be a little bit more long-winded. I want to have more conversations. I want to get my point across a little bit more. And sometimes I have a hard time getting that into shorter videos. So I'm excited to lean into the long form side of things. I'm a little bit nervous just because I've posted on YouTube, for a little while on different accounts and haven't seen any traction, although I always end up giving up. So this time I want this to be high emphasis on the fitness side of things, but also implementing some of my business, which is a digital marketing agency, which is why I bought this camera initially and also for this. But yeah, so leaning into the longer form is what I'm looking for in this current chapter of my life, and just putting myself out there more. I'm doing it in the short form area, so why not do it in the long form? So I've done half marathons, I've done some ultra marathons, I've done some triathlons, but I am yet to undertake a full-on 26.2 marathon. So I signed up for the Route 66 marathon in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that is going to be on November 23rd. My goal is a 3:30, 3 hours and 30 minutes marathon, and that would be an 8-minute average mile pace. So 8 minutes per mile for 26.2 miles. It's going to be a huge feat. Right now, my training, I'm at about a 10-minute pace, 9:45. So I've got a lot of work to do, but we've got 17 weeks of dialed training to get down to the pace that I want to execute this marathon at. I will run a 3:30 marathon. It's not if, it's when I run a 3:30 marathon. This is going to be my intro to the marathon world. And I loved the ultras that I've done, but I was training at a slower pace. I'm excited to push the pace, push the tempo, try some more speed workouts, some more interval workouts. So right now, I'm about to hammer out probably about 3 miles, 2 or 3 miles, but I'm going to get some speed work in there on some trails. I'm at a nature park pretty close to my place, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to start this training block. And I think, man, the thing that keeps coming to mind for me is just consistency. Now, it's nothing crazy, but it's just consistent work. I'm repping BPN. I'm a huge BPN fan. And one of the things that Nick Bear, the founder, always says is consistently good over occasionally great efforts. Consistently putting the good, solid work in, building my foundation, and I know that I will execute a 3:30 marathon at the Route 66 marathon in Tulsa in 17 weeks. 17 weeks is a solid training block that gives me a lot of time to get some miles under my belt. And right now, I'm training in the heat. It's 93 degrees out. It's really humid. And in November, it's going to be between 45, mostly between 50 and 70 degrees. But I'm from Minnesota, and I ran in October. I ran a Halloween marathon, and it was 24 degrees at race time. So the weather in November sounds beautiful to execute this race. I'm super excited, and I'm super excited to take you along for the journey.
Put on that truth and I stick with the father. This for your uncle, your sister, your papa. Cut off my old saying for this new life. So I told him, go pick up the chopper. Say what I said, chasing the bread, you selling your soldiers for $200. Cut off that shit and I said, go get the chopper. No, I'm a win, I could do this for hours. I got that truth, I got heavenly power. Yeah, yeah. Saying I ain't phased, can't control me. God's love.
All right, I'm gonna get warmed up, and then we're gonna push some pace. This run is gonna see how deep we can go into the suck.
Beat up the worry, I'm done with the stress. Beat up the lie, I'ma pick up the mess. Beat up the shame, I'ma let go regret.
All right, my heart rate is immediately 175. This is gonna suck.
It's my heart, my soul, I'ma show it. Writing these lines, I feel like a poet. Through all the lies, I knew I was chosen.
Okay, my first mile was 9:15. I'm going to see how fast we can do this second mile. We're just gonna crank 2 miles today. Gonna do a longer run tomorrow morning, but I'm gonna see how fast I can do 1 more mile. I'm gonna get my heart rate down a little bit here before I peel out of here, and we're off.
Cut off my old fan for this new life, so I told him go pick up the chopper. Say what I said, chasing the bread.
All right, heart rate 191. Final quarter mile push. Let's go. All right, 2 miles down. The second mile split was about a 7:35. My average heart rate, man, for that was like at least a 180. I was pushing 190 at the end, but we got it done. Quick 2. Wanted to do a little bit of speed, and yeah, it's cooking out. So didn't want to overdo it. Might have overdone it, but hey, that's what training is. All right, I ran 2 miles. Just wanted to work on a little bit of speed work. I'm on the trails here. So my first mile split was a 9:15. My second mile was a 7:35, and it absolutely killed. My heart rate average was probably like a 185. Absolutely insane. I'm in Oklahoma, and the temperature right now is about 93 degrees. Pretty humid, but hey, we got it done. So I talked a little bit. I'm running a Tulsa marathon, and my goal time is a 3:30, which is an 8-minute average pace, which after running a 7:30 pace for 1 mile, I'm like, what have I gotten myself into? But we're gonna get it done regardless. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. And my goal throughout this prep, I mean, I'm repping BPN. Some of you guys might know what that is. Some of you might not, but Nick Bear, and I'm not afraid to say it, he absolutely changed my life. Inspired me to do my first triathlon. If you would have told me that I would be sitting here recording a video training for a marathon, I would be like, you're crazy. And so far under my belt, and I don't say this to brag, I say this to tell you what the capabilities you have are. I've ran 3 half marathons, I've done 4 triathlons, and I've done 3 ultra marathons. Crazy, like just from taking the first step. And now that I have a few race preps under my belt, I am so ready to start cranking on this race prep. I've got 17 weeks, which is more than enough time to get down to that 3:30 pace, or that 3:30 marathon, that is. And my goal is to just document more, is to try my best to let my personality shine through the camera and talk to you like I'm talking to a friend, right? Talk to you the way that other people do it on camera. Because I've tried to be scripted, I've tried to be overly planned out, and that never works. And this time, you know, just caring less, putting more stuff out there, setting up my camera. I got the new gear, which got me super excited for this prep. On Monday, I'm gonna be starting the actual training block. So we got 17 weeks, and I'm gonna be running at least 5 times a week. But throughout this prep, I know that I have to nail a bunch of other areas of my day-to-day life. I have to nail my diet, I have to nail my sleep. If I don't nail these things during the prep, I'm out of luck. It's not gonna happen. And then also during this prep, I don't only wanna focus on doing well in the marathon, although that is a huge goal of mine. I have a lot of other areas of my life that I really wanna prioritize right now. My faith with Christ, my relationship with my wife, my business, growing my business, doing better work for clients. And while I'm recording videos to share with you guys, I'm also gonna be working on my videography skills. And just truly, if I get to inspire one person, or if I get to give someone a little bit of an escape from their life by these videos, like, I've won. And if it's just a video for me that I can look back at later, at least I tried, right? That's the thing I've had in my head for so long. I want to start posting YouTube videos. I've done the short form, but I always feel like I run out of time to share what I want to share. I run out of time to share what I want to share, to truly get my point across. It's much harder for me to condense my thoughts into a 60-second video or a 30-second video. This is going to be episode 1 of my race training. I'm just going to put this together with just one run, this run that I just did, sort of introing my race training. And then I want to say that my goal is at least 1 video a week. I don't want to get too ambitious, but 1 video a week I think is highly attainable. And yeah, and just trying to implement other areas of my life. You know, I've got a puppy at home that I'm training. I've got a business, a digital marketing business that I'm also going to be introducing some more videography stuff into. Just sharing these other areas of my life as well, to encourage you and to tell you that you can do it too. You can do it too. There's nothing different about me. There's nothing different about me, really. There's not. You know, I'm an ambitious guy when I want to be. Right? There's also a lot of areas where I procrastinate, where I can do better, right? My goal with this is not to paint myself as some superhero, some super polished guy who never struggles, right? I want to present you with the struggle. I want to tell you when I don't want to run. Today, I did not want to run. I did not want to get out here and do this run. And my goal also throughout this prep is to not have a single run where I'm like, I could have done better. Where I'm like, hey, I cut it short because fill in the blank excuse. Because it's so easy to have excuses why we can't run or why we can't get the workout in or there's always going to be excuses. Life is busy. Life sucks sometimes. There are hard things that we deal with. And I'm not going to negate that fact. There are times where, yes, you do have a situation you don't get a run in. Not the end of the world. But when it is the end of the world is when you start giving yourself excuses as to why you either deserve to get out of it or why you've worked hard this week, so it's okay if you skip a run. Those compound and they display themselves in other areas of your life. When your runs start slipping, your diet starts slipping. You start consuming more content. When you start consuming more content, you stop focusing on your work. When you stop focusing on your work, you stop focusing on your relationships, and it spirals. At least for me, that's exactly how it happens. I see the trickle effect from my fitness because I know that I'm letting myself down. And my goal through this prep is to give it everything that I have. And if I don't hit that 3:30 time, so be it. But I do not want to be able to say that I left anything on the table. So I yapped for a while. We'll close with that, but I appreciate you. Subscribe and check back for the next one later this week.